Hey guys, what's crappening? MMA Savant here, and I want to do a quick video. UFC 195 just wrapped up a few hours ago, and people are already taking to the Twitter and Facebook and the forums talking about how Robbie Lawler was gifted that decision or that Condit was robbed. So let's talk about that for a second. But before we do that, I want to go through the card and tell you guys, MMA Savant here. I got 5 out of 5 correct on my picks for the main card. Okay, and I also got so that means I got 6 of 8. I didn't do the entire card. I didn't do the you know I only did a few that stood out to me. But I got McDonald to beat Kanahara. We pretty much all saw that one coming. There was a little bit of a scare with the arm triangle choke, but McDonald showed why he's one of the best and was able to transition from that, take the back, and sink in a rear naked choke. Kanahara showed a lot of good defense in the beginning opening stanza by not panicking in Michael McDonald's guillotine choke. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, but I had Joe Duffy to beat Poirier. Didn't happen. Poirier came out like a banshee and put it on Duffy, and without a doubt won that fight. And beat him up pretty good. You know, there's no controversy there. But I do want to talk about Joe Soto losing to Tanaka. I feel like with the submission attempts and the Gogo Plata attempt, I know attempts aren't submissions, but I feel like he was a little bit more impressive uh, than Tanaka was. But you know what? The judges gave it to who they gave it to. You know, you really can't change nothing about it. So anyway, so from the bottom up, we had Abel Trujillo was the first fight on the card. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and do it all. Uh, Sheldon Westcott beat Edgar Garcia. Mishinori Tanaka beat Joe Soto by decision. Um, Joe Duffy lost to Dustin Poirier. And then you have Drew Dober beat Scott Holtzman by decision. Justine Kish beat Nina Ansaroff by decision. Morano beat Kyle Noak on 11 days' notice by decision. I feel like the damage done with a busted up nose uh, really helped to get him that decision win. So I want to see what he does with a full camp, and how he performs later on. Because if you factor in, it's a tough opponent, 11 days notice, and Octagon debut. We got a lot of good stuff coming from this guy. Okay, I had Note to win that one in my head, but you know, whatever. Uh, Michael McDonald beat Masanori Kanahara by rear naked choke submission in the second round. Okay, so now we go on to the main event, or on to the main card. April Trujillo beat um, Tony Sims by submission. I had him to win that fight. I don't remember how I had it. I think it was submission, maybe TKO. But people forget he's a 4-time NAIA All-American who looked very good against Marcus Levasseur. I know you're going to say he got dominated by Nurmagomedov, but Nurmagomedov had 22 takedowns. So just stand back up, takedown, stand back up, takedown, stand back up, takedown. But you still have to stand back up to get the second takedown, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. So he wasn't holding him down there. Okay. So you guys underestimate or people underestimate how good um, Abel Trujillo's grappling is. Okay. Then we have Brian Ortega to beat Diego Brandao. And in my video, I said Brian Ortega, true to his name, will submit Diego Brandao with a triangle. And sure enough, it happened. Albert Tumanov beat Lorenz Larkin. I had Albert Tumanov to win it. I was going for him. But I wouldn't have been mad if the judges gave it to Lorenz Larkin. That weird spinning heel to the calf muscle and to the thigh that he was doing, that they're calling the monsoon kick now. That was a fantastic move, and it really did a lot of damage to the leg. So I wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to Larkin for that one. But Tumanov did get the win. Okay, Stipe versus Andrei Arlovski. I had Stipe to win that fight by either KO or decision. And the reason I had that is because people forget that Stipe began his career after Andrei Arlovski had miles on him. Okay? And they forget that Anthony Johnson knocked him out. They forget that Fedor knocked him dead. Okay? And then plus all the wars and adding up and everything. And I know we're talking about, well, look how good he looked against Travis Brown. Travis Brown fights out of Edmonds camp. So he left Greg Jackson's camp of guys who know how to win for Edmond. So did Jake Ellenberger. So did some random young lady who recently took some Edmond boxing lessons into the cage, and it didn't go well for her against a girl who knew how to box, who ironically, or coincidentally I should say, came from Greg Jackson's camp. The Greg Jackson guys know how to win. Travis Brown used to be a factor, and he was looking real good when he was fighting the Alistair Overeems of the game, but things are not the same anymore. Stipe has a lot less miles, and he lost by a razor-thin decision to JDS, and he beat the ever-loving bejesus out of Mark Hunt. So I was pretty confident that Stipe would win that fight. Stipe did win it. I believe it was 56 seconds or 54 seconds of the. Actually, I got my notes right here. I'm gonna check here. Hold on. Got my 54 seconds of the first round. Got the job done. He is, after Kane, the rightful contender to the throne. Let's see where it takes him. That blue collar Cleveland work ethic, it does wonders. I'm telling you guys. Now we're going to go on to the main event of the evening. Robbie Lawler beat Carlos Condit by split decision. 47-48, 48-47, 48-47. So I don't have my notes. I don't have my stuff on printed yet or whatever. So I'm going to give you the numbers right here. I wrote them down, and this is copied directly off Fight Metric. Nothing was changed at all. So Robbie Lawler, first of all, let me explain something to you guys. I am a referee, I am a judge, and I am an inspector through Herb Dean. Okay. Volume of strikes and octagon control, aggression, are the third and fourth weighted things. Striking, then grappling, then octagon control, then striking, grappling, aggression, octagon control. Okay. So if you throw 20,000 strikes towards your opponent, but only 10 hit him, you're not going to win the points on those 19,990, you know what I'm saying, the other ones. You have to do damage with the strikes. So Robbie Lawler had one knockdown. Carlos Condit had 0. There's a couple trips and a couple, balance issues, whatever, but no true knockdowns from a punch from Condit to Lawler. So in round one, Lawler, total strikes 18, he landed 12, 67%. Condit, he threw 75, he landed 28, 37%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each round, and I'm going to go Lawler first, then Condit, real quick. Round two, Lawler total strikes 23. He threw 11, 43%. Condit 8. He threw 71. He landed 18, 24%. Round three, Lawler had 26 total. 11 landed, 42%. Condit had 78 thrown, 22%, or 22 landed, 28%. Lawler had 18 thrown, 6 of those landed, 33%. Condit had 47 thrown. I'm sorry, 98 thrown, 47 landed, 48%. So now here's the fifth round. Lawler, he threw 92 and he landed 53% of his 53 strikes for, Jesus. I'm going to say 55%, but I can't read my writing right here. But it's 50-something percent. Could be an 8 or a 3 or a 5. Condit, he landed 62. He threw 173 strikes for 36%. Now, the only round that Condit landed a higher percentage on Lawler was the fourth round. Okay. To be the champion, typically you have to finish the champion. Robbie Lawler wasn't finished. Robbie Lawler was definitely, it wasn't an easy fight for him, but statistically, Robbie Lawler won the fight. You know, there's really nothing you can say about it. Like, and you can't go, well, yeah, but look how busy Condit was. It doesn't matter. Uh, if I get in a fight with somebody and I do that crap and I'm spinning around and I'm throwing different combinations, but only one punch per combination is landing, or it's a little pitter-pat leg kick. That's the same stuff he did against Nick Diaz, and this time it backfired on him. And Joe Rogan even said in the commentary, he goes, Carlos Condit, after every combination he throws, he always throws that same kick because that's volume. I mean, it's like disorientating, and it's it's takes guys out of their rhythm and everything, but it ain't doing nothing. You know, it's like if you watch Clay Guida fight, he does this and he moves around a lot and he does a lot of this, but until your fist or your knee or your elbow or your foot make contact, real contact with your opponent, it's all for naught. There's nothing going on there. It's a lot of sizzle but no steak, you know. So they gave the right guy the win. Condit had no knockdowns. Now Tyron Woodley says that his partner, his American Top Team partner Robbie Lawler, always plays possum, and that's kind of his thing. I don't know how to take that. I saw him in one of the rounds. He was kind of, doing all, like, ooh, whatever. And so he could have been faking it, and it could have been legit. I'm not going to say that, oh, he was definitely faking it and take it away from Carlos. Carlos landed a lot of good strikes. I expected him to use his elbows more and maybe cut Lawler open. But there's a lot of spinning stuff and a lot of flash. Sorry about that, guys. And a lot of flash. But yeah, look, being busy isn't damage. This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, not the Ultimate Winning Championship. Okay? So, with that being said, those are my thoughts on tonight's events. Um, I haven't even watched the post-fight press conference, and they're already talking about a rematch. I don't understand it. Carlos Condit, he lost to the champion by split decision. For the love of God, UFC, no more rematches. Okay? It's just they're because they only fight typically 3, maybe twice a year. Like once a year if you're Cain Velasquez or whatever. So if you get a rematch, that means everybody else in the division holds up for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and it ties everything up. That's why the contenders and the top 5 guys in each division hardly ever change. You know, every division that we talk about has been the same way now as it was a year ago, as it will be a year from now. So anyway, it's getting late and all that. So those are my thoughts on UFC 195. It was a fun card. A lot of decisions though. I don't really like that. Michael McDonald looked great in his return. He didn't really miss a step. Let's see. Who to talk about? People sleeping on Abel Trujillo again. I don't get that. Maybe Stipe Miocic, man. He came in there. He made it look easy. He took no damage. Uh, if Cain or Fabricio gets injured, Dana White and Joe Silva know who to call. Stipe's ready. He didn't take any damage for this fight. He's a heavyweight, so he doesn't really have to cut any weight. And unless he broke his hand on Arlovsky's big fat melon, uh, should be no issue there. And I think after Cain, he's the rightful um, contender for the next title shot at heavyweight. Okay, guys, MMA Savant, and I'm out. Uh, leave your comments below. Subscribe. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Let me know if uh, you know you think Condit won it and why. I mean, but with those criteria and the parameters set by the judging rules, Robbie Lawler won the fight. Um, more damage done with the amount of strikes he threw. Carlos Condit threw 497 total strikes. 177 landed for a percentage of 36%. That's 1/3. Lawler threw 178. He landed 93 for a 52% percentage. So 1 out of every 2 made it, and they hit Condit with 1 knockdown. Okay, guys, MMA Savant, and I'm out.